Hey Bears, welcome back to UA Live.
Today we're looking at speakers who came to Upper Arlington High School, the solar eclipse, an indoor and outdoor pickleball facility, UA Rise's 15th birthday, and more.
On April 2nd, Dr. Lori Santos came to Upper Arlington High School to talk with students about happiness. She explained that nationally 40% of college students report being, quote, too depressed to function.
She also talked with us about how to change our perspective on happiness to live a more fulfilling life. Here's Nathan with more.
All right, hey guys, it's Nathan. Today I'm here with Dr. Lori Santos. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Santos. I'm a professor of psychology at Yale and host of the Happiness Lab podcast.
Okay, so what inspired you to design and teach the course that you teach?
Yeah, so it all started when I took on a new role on Yale's campus. I became what's called a head of college. And that means I was like living with students on campus. I was really seeing their day-to-day in a different way than just being a professor at the front of the classroom. And I honestly saw the mental health crisis that so many college students are going through. So many students are depressed and anxious. And so the class was my attempt to say, how can we as faculty give back to students and give students strategies they can use to feel better?
Why do you think the class grew to be so popular?
Yeah, I think the class is popular in part because students are really like voting with their feet, right? They don't like this culture of feeling so stressed and anxious. And I think students are really hungry for solutions they could use. I think another thing about the class is it's really evidence-based, right? Like we really look at what the science says. So students know they're not getting a bunch of platitudes, like they're really finding out like what does the evidence say I can actually do to feel less stressed out, feel less depressed, and so on.
So what's the biggest takeaway from your class?
What's the biggest takeaway from my class? It was hard to sum a whole 26 lectures into one takeaway, but I mean, maybe one takeaway is to say that we really can control more of our happiness than we think. I think when we look at this crisis of so many students feeling upset and angry, and when you're an individual student and feeling all stressed out, you might think this is just the nature of how things are, I can't do anything about this. But what the science shows, there's a whole host of strategies you can use to feel better. Like you can actually take action to feel better, from engaging in better self-talk to more social connection to getting more sleep. They're just like simple things you can do to improve how you feel.
So given the rise of technology and social media, do you believe that our pursuit of happiness has been altered?
Do I think that social media has altered our pursuit of happiness? Honestly, yes, in certain ways. I mean, maybe one way to frame it is I think it's kind of pushed it in a certain direction. I think more and more on social media we see these examples of like wealthy people with perfect lives, and these days I know we're having this conversation a week when I know all these students are finding out which college they're getting into, and you can kind of just think like everybody's life is better than mine. And so I think that kind of creates a certain social comparison that has always been true of our biology. We're kind of just creatures that socially compare, but it gives us so many comparison points that it really hits our happiness. And so I think the data really suggests it's negatively affecting our happiness in large part because of this social comparison.
Final question. With the prevalence of stress and burnout in modern society, how do you suggest that individuals strike a balance between pursuing happiness and managing their responsibilities and challenges?
Yeah, so I think so my class is really set up to talk about a lot of the misconceptions we have when it comes to happiness. And I think even in that question is a little bit of the misconception. We think, okay, I can either be happy and mentally healthy, or I could achieve a lot and pursue things and get money, or fulfill my responsibilities. I think that we think these things are in tension. I really hate this metaphor work-life balance because I think it suggests like, well, as work goes up, your happiness goes down. It's kind of this terrible seesaw. But whereas other cultures think of work-life balance not as a balance but a harmony. Like in Japan, people talk about work-life harmony, that these things can coexist together in a way that they enhance each other. And I think if you look at the science, what you start to see is that that's a better metaphor. One of my favorite recent papers of the last year show that companies that have happier workforces wind up making the most money, and predictably. So if you look at the happiness of a company like Time One in say like 2021, and you look in 2023, the companies that had the happiest workers 2 years ago will be making the most money. And that's like not what we predict. We think like if you're a company and you want to make money, you have to like make people miserable and exploit people and whatever. But like actually just having happy people means that you make more money. Those happy people are performing better. There's data, for example, that students who prioritize factors relevant for their happiness, their sleep and social connection, wind up not just being happier, but also performing better academically. I think we get the balance wrong. I think we have this theory that you have to give up your mental health to perform at your maximum. And I think what we might be missing is to perform at our maximum, we might need to really focus on our mental health rather than ignore it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Do you have
Awesome.
anything else that you'd like to add?
So excited to be here at UA. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
The World Happiness Report ranked the U.S. 23rd for 2024, which is a fall from ranking 15th the previous year. NBC News says this is due to economic inequality between generations.
Dr. Santos wasn't the only speaker who got to talk with UAHS students that week. On April 4th, UAHS students heard from Birdie Lake co-founder Beth Weinstock.
She spoke about the dangers and misconceptions of fentanyl, explaining that fentanyl is found in most drugs across America. She also said the most effective way to save someone from fentanyl is Narcan.
Narcan can be found at any pharmacy for around $50, or by taking a Narcan training class at The Ohio State University. You get free Narcan and fentanyl test strips. Sign up for spring by 2024 by going to this website.
As many of you know, April 8th was Eclipse Day. UA schools were supposed to have a half day, but due to lack of substitutes, school was canceled.
Many people gathered outside to watch this rare event. 2024 solar eclipse was predicted as the most watched solar eclipse in history due to all the large cities it passes through.
The path of totality was the first across Ohio in over 200 years, but the last eclipse visible in Ohio was in 2017. The path of totality this year ran just north of Columbus, and the eclipse lasted nearly 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
The next total visible eclipse in Ohio will be in 2444.
And now to sports.
The women's Final Four was in Cleveland in Ohio on Friday, April 5th, and Sunday, April 7th. And the men's Final Four was in Phoenix on Saturday, April 6th, and Monday, April 8th.
The average ticket price for NCAA women's semifinals was $2,323, while the average ticket price for the men's was $1,001.
The women's championship was South Carolina and Iowa, where South Carolina captured the title to keep their undefeated season with an 87 to 75. The men's
championship was UConn and Purdue, where UConn pulled away in the second half to win 75-60.
The United States women's national soccer team played at Lauer.com Field in Columbus, Ohio on April 9th.
The United States and Canada ended regulation in a tie, but the U.S. went on to win 5-4 on penalty kicks.
On March 22nd, the girls lacrosse team beat Hill Academy from Canada in double overtime with a score of 7-8. And on March 24th, they beat Loyola Academy from Illinois 6-5.
The girls lacrosse team plays Olentangy Liberty on April 16th. This is a rematch of the 2023 state championship final in which UA won.
The boys lacrosse team traveled to Colorado during spring break, and the split outcomes with 1 loss and 1 win. They beat Cherry Creek 12-11 and lost to Valor Christian Academy 8-12.
Boys lacrosse play Liberty on April 17th.
The softball team played their first home game on April 5th against Hilliard Bradley Terry Strength. Former UAHS softball coach threw the first pitch off the season for the girls. Ella Schmidt stepped onto the softball field for an interview with one of the coaches.
What does a typical week look like at practice?
We typically practice Monday through Saturday from 3:30 to 5:30, and essentially what happens is Coach O'Malley and I get together if we had a scrimmage or maybe the practice day before didn't go as well as we wanted, and we really try to figure out what our key points of, I guess, a lesson would be for the practice, and we pretty much run that through all the way till 5:30, and then on Mondays and Wednesdays the girls lift in the weight room.
Where can we watch this season?
You can watch this season on the field, obviously, during our home games, or if you want to look for our schedule, it's on the Upper Arlington High School website. There's the athletics tab. Once you click on the tab, there's a softball tab, and our full schedule is on there.
What are the team's core values?
Our core values are being passionate, being gritty, being selfless, and overall being grateful. That's just what I want them to play through, and their motto throughout the season.
Who are the captains of the softball team?
Our captains are senior Avery Johnson, senior Melanie Amon, and junior Ava Brown.
This has been Ella Schmidt reporting for the WARL.
The ladies softball Bears host Hilliard Davidson on April 15th and compete at Olentangy Berlin on the 16th.
The UAHS baseball team traveled to Florida over spring break.
They won 2 games and lost 2 games. They play at Dublin Kaufman on April 15th and host the same team on April 17th at home.
The varsity track team has a streak of away meets. They compete at Dublin Kaufman on April 13th and the Fulton Relays in Lancaster on April 19th.
The boys volleyball team has 3 away games next week. They play Westerville North on April 15th, Hilliard-Davidson on the 16th, and Dublin-Kaufman on the 17th.
The boys tennis team started their season against St. Charles on April 3rd.
The Tennis Bears are home on April 13th against Indian Hill High School and April 15th against Marysville.
Pickleball, which is a similar sport to tennis, has been growing in popularity in recent years. Sierra visited Pickle and Chill off Henderson Road to learn more about the sport's growth.
Pickle and Chill first opened in November of 2022. Originally, the facility it is now in was used for the Ohio State tennis team, but due to growing pickleball demand, it was turned into Pickle and Chill. I spoke with event captain Olivia about what it is like to work at Pickle and Chill, as well as what Pickle and Chill is.
I've been working here since August of 2023. You get to play a lot. The people are great. I haven't met anybody who is like really nasty. It's just a good group. Everyone's awesome. So Pickle and Chill hosts, oh my gosh, I want to say 5 or 6 different leagues. We do like all women's leagues. We do leagues depending on what your like duper score is, which is like dynamic universal pickleball rating. We have 9 indoor courts, and then we have 10 outdoor courts. We have a large tent outside where you can put your stuff. We host events in the tent. We also have cornhole outside. We have a variety of outdoor games too. Depending on the events that we host, sometimes we have food trucks that come out there. We have different sponsor tents. I love our outdoor facility. I think it's beautiful. We have tents so you're not like standing under the heat in the summertime. But it's very, very nice out there.
I spoke with some pickleballers to understand what it is about pickleball that interests so many people.
Some friends of ours took us out to play, and I used to play tennis for about 10 years, so it was really just super fun. I live close by, and I kept hearing about Pickle and Chill, so finally I signed up and got some lessons and started playing.
Well, we actually all 3 of us played this summer just in the driveway, and then we kind of just started loving it. It's a fun family activity, and so we've been taking some lessons, and now we're hooked.
I love pickleball because it's not as difficult as tennis. Gets my endorphins going. It's just a big rush. It's tons of fun. I just love the movement. I mean, I recommend it for anybody.
Honestly, I think it's an easy sport to get into. It doesn't take long to get good. I started playing back in October, and it's just, if you play consistently, it's not hard at all. And it's fun. The people here are a lot of fun to play with. I play in an open play, which is pretty much just play with a bunch of strangers, and I play on the court with 75-year-olds. I play with 20-year-olds. I mean, it's just a very big group of people. I describe it to new players as big ping pong, small tennis. It's the same principles when you're serving and when you're actually playing. The biggest piece of confusion is the kitchen, the no volley zone. It's almost always a different color, and you just can't step in there when the ball is in the air. But yeah, it's just, if you've seen tennis, you can pretty much get the feel for playing pickleball. Check out our app. So we have an app on the App Store, Pickle and Chill. It's very easy to read. We have all of our programs on there, membership details, different clinics that we offer for beginners. So we have an intro to pickleball clinic, and that's pretty much what even is pickleball, how do you play, the very basics of it. And then we have a level 1, which is a learn to play, a little bit more advanced, but not really too much where you're going to get lost. And then I believe we go up into a level 3 or level 4. So people around a 3.0, 3.5 in the duper ratings, that's where they can really get to play. You're welcome to come in too and talk to one of the staff members when we're here. We're happy to help.
This is Sierra Gaudiali reporting for the WARL.
The 2024 Northland Park tennis season pass pricing will be adjusted this summer since only 8 courts will be available between May 5th and August 4th. Construction will continue during this time to complete the remaining courts and facilities.
Northern Park tennis fans and patrons are invited to an open house and update at Northern Park Courts on Saturday, May 4th from 1 to 5 p.m. Now to community news.
This spring, the Black Box Theater is hosting their annual box set.
The event consists of 9 student-written plays with student actors. This student-run production includes Finale by August Dingus, which is about 2 ghosts while one doesn't remember their identity. They become friends and the other ghost helps the other one try to remember.
Actors have started rehearsals. The show dates are May 3rd and May 4th in the Black Box. The starting time is to be determined. Tickets can be purchased on the UA Community Theater website.
This month, UA Rise shared their 15-year anniversary with new spring drinks.
Let's check it out.
Upper Arlington High School's coffee shop is celebrating their 15th birthday on April 9th, 2024. The shop offers a variety of drinks, including frozen and iced coffees, smoothies, and more. For their birthday, they are offering a $2.09 16-ounce frozen hot chocolate to throw back to 2009, where they offered the same drink for that price.
What's your favorite drink at UA Rise?
Probably the infamous frozen hot chocolate. It's a very popular choice, and me being a chocolate lover, I think it's a great choice.
What would you rate it out of 10?
11.
How often do you get UA Rise?
Whenever I have the money.
So what is your favorite drink at UA Rise?
Favorite drink is probably either the frozen lemonade or the frozen hot chocolate.
What would you rate it?
I'd give it like at least a 9 out of 10. It's not the same as Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A frozen lemonade, but I'd say it's still pretty good.
What would you rate the frozen hot chocolate?
Frozen hot chocolate is probably 10 out of 10 because I get it just about every day. So.
Yeah, so how often do you go to UA Rise?
I'd say I'd probably get about 3 or 4 times a week.
Probably a good frozen chai.
How often do you drink the UA Rise drinks?
Not often, honestly. Probably like twice a week.
What would you rate the frozen chai out of 10?
Solid 8.
My UA Rise drink is a black coffee. No cream, no sugar, nothing else, just black coffee. It is a 10 out of 10 every time. Have not tried any of the spring drinks. Every day. Mug Club membership.
What's your favorite drink at UA Rise?
UA Rise.
The UA Rise drink?
Yeah.
Iced or frozen?
Ooh, that's a good question. Frozen.
What would you rate it out of 10?
10 out of 10.
How often do you get UA Rise?
Once a week.
So I'm going to be trying the frozen hot chocolate. It's really good. 10 out of 10.
This has been Emily Reed reporting for the WARL.
UA Rise is an Upper Arlington High School favorite. UA Rise is located on Golden Bear Boulevard across from the Fieldhouse and Black Box Theater.
UA Rise has a wide selection of offerings and is open before school and during both lunch periods.
Starbucks and Wendy's recently released their spring menus. Mia stopped by their UA locations to try some new menu items.
Starbucks and Wendy's are popular chain restaurants in UA that recently released their spring menus, featuring a new lavender latte available at all Starbucks locations beginning March 7th and lasting through the spring season. We went to the Tremont Road location to try their signature lavender latte.
Okay, so here I have the lavender oat milk latte. So, let's try. You can definitely taste the lavender, and to be honest, it kind of tastes grassy, like florally. If you like lavender, then you would definitely like this. I just personally don't like lavender. I think I would rate this a 4 out of 10.
Wendy's new spring menu introduced the Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, which is described to add a citrus flavor twist on the classic vanilla Frosty. Beginning on March 13th, this product was made available nationwide for a limited time. We went to the UA location on the corner of Zollinger and Northwest Boulevard to try the new menu item.
So next we have the Orange Dreamsicle Frosty from Wendy's, right down the street from our school, so you can pick one up. This I think I'm gonna like better than the Starbucks, so let's try. I think I would rate this a 9 out of 10. If you're looking for a good
after school snack, go for the orange creamsicle frosty from Wendy's. Really good. There's a variety of options on both spring menus if you are interested in trying the new items. This has been Mia Fusco reporting for the WARL.
And now back to Maine.
During the month of March, a group of teachers has found a fun way to create tasty brackets.
Here's Skylar to report on this friendly competition.
I am here with Mrs. Liu, and she is part of the Oreo Planning Committee, and this is the second year that they've done a special version of March Madness with different sweet treats.
Last year, the bracket that we did was an Oreo bracket. Me and Miss Burgess would buy each other Oreos and share to decide what was the best Oreo flavor. So then we decided to extend it to the entire staff. We called ourselves the Oreo Planning Committee.
So you've already done all of Oreo Madness with these Hershey Kisses, but today it looks like I'm going to be trying all of them and creating my own bracket to see how close I got to it. First up, we have mint truffle against peppermint.
Candy cane.
My bad. So honestly, between the candy cane and the mint truffle, I have to go with candy cane. So next up, we have sugar cookie and cookies and cream. I have to go with sugar cookie.
Nice.
So next up, we have the Hugs flavor and then original Hershey Kisses.
So a hug is essentially white chocolate mixed with milk chocolate kind of swirled together into a hug.
I have to go with the original. The last group is almond and hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa is chocolate with like a marshmallow-esque filling on the inside.
I hated that one, but I loved the almond one, so that's the winner. We're down to almond, original, peppermint, and sugar cookie.
That would mean the next matchup would be between sugar cookie and candy cane. One of the benefits of the Hershey Kiss bracket and the Oreo Planning Committee as a whole, it brings a lot of staff unity. Just everyone has a good time with it. Everyone gets excited about who they're going to vote for and who ends up winning.
I have to go with peppermint. Now we have to go against almond and original. You can get normal chocolate in any other form, like a Hershey's bar. So I have to go with almond, and also you get a little bit of protein in there, which personally I like.
Just that little bit.
Okay, so now we're up to almond and candy cane. I'm gonna say my favorite is the almond one. That is my winner.
And you got the protein.
And we get the protein.
So almond was actually the winner for the teachers bracket as well, which ended this past Tuesday.
Woo!
We did have mint truffle beating candy cane in the first round. We also had cookies and cream beating sugar cookie. But other than that, I think you were spot on. So one staff member in particular that was very upset about candy cane losing was the assistant principal, Mr. Jordan.
I'm here for you, Mr. Jordan. I personally liked the candy cane a lot, and it made it to my final two. But thank you so much for joining me, Mrs. Liu, and we're so excited to see what next year's March Madness is going to be. This is Skylar Burkle reporting for the WARL.
Upper Arlington Civic Association has been awarding Upper Arlington staff members with the Golden Apple Award since 1981.
Here are this year's winners. Mary Weasel at Barrington Elementary, Ron Hannanen for Greensview Elementary, Kathy Rextis at Tremont Elementary,
Kathy Zelnick at Whitcliffe Elementary, Lauren Grozonsky at Windermere Elementary, Joe Silver Jr. at Hastings Middle School,
Officer Travis Goodman at Jones Middle School, Michaela McVeigh at Upper Arlington High School, and Steve Godavin in for the district.
Congratulations to all the winners. And that's all for UA Live.
See you next time, Bears.